Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to my replay players and welcome to everybody coming in live. I hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. I hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. As you can see, I am not alone today. I'm here with Danny, and I'm really excited to introduce you guys to Danny. Or if you find me through Danny, hello, my name is Lindsay Listro, and I am just so excited to talk to Danny today about photography and body confidence through photos and photography, what that looks like. I'm going to let Danny introduce himself just a little bit. I'm so excited. So I met Danny October of 2019. I actually found our selfie together from Disney. He's a PhotoPass photographer from Disney. His passion is photography and all things photos. And so what I'm really excited to really dive into, and Danny, you can, I've got a couple of questions and stuff of what got you into photography and everything, but ultimately we both want for you guys to have the biggest takeaway of body confidence through photos and what that looks like and how to utilize photos for body confidence and just all that wonderful things. So I love and appreciate that you're doing this, Danny. I really am excited to have you here. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me. So my name is Danny, and I live probably right around the corner from you here in Orlando. Yeah, I've been a photographer for quite some time now, and it's definitely a journey. Um, it's been it's been really nice to have this as an outlet for that positive means. There's so many things that go on in the world, and having somewhere to put your energy is really nice.
Awesome. Thank you. So my first question to you is you mentioned to me one time about how you're fortunate enough to stumble into this career. You want to elaborate a little bit on that? What do you
Yeah,
mean by stumble
so
into this?
so I actually got into photography when I was in high school, and for whatever reason, I it just stopped, um, and I didn't do it for probably around 10, 15 years, maybe.
Mhm.
I feel like I've really only been doing it for about 6 years now, and even when I even when I moved down here, I like to say I accidentally got the job at Disney. I was just looking around online and saw that they were looking for photographers, and I was like, well, let me shoot my shot, no pun intended. And I applied for Disney, and they didn't give me the position that I originally applied for, but they did put me in parks, which is where you and I met. So
Mhm.
that's one part of the universe that's working. And then I met somebody during my training who she sent me something that she saw on Craigslist back when Craigslist was all we had, and it it that sent me to downtown Orlando, and I got a job working downtown Orlando, and I feel like so when I say I stumbled upon it, like so many things happened to progress me forward when I wasn't paying attention. So it's nice to, especially when you get caught up in something that you're not passionate about, but you feel like you need to have it. You kind of block everything else out, and you don't take the time to figure out what it is that you want. And I think in times like that, we get clouded, and we put our needs above our passion, and not viewing that as a need as well. So yeah, like I said, I've been fortunate to have a job where I'm doing what I love, and then have another job where I'm doing what I love.
I love it. I love how you utilize your passion as a career path with multiple streams of revenue because I'm a big fan of it doesn't matter as long as you're loving what you are doing. So my next question to you is so for me as someone who has experienced photography with you, there's something beautiful that you specifically have done for me, which is when you take my photo, when you take my portrait, I feel extremely special. I feel loved. I feel this type of confidence that comes out. And so, and what's interesting for you is not only do you, not only do you do sessions of with your photography business, but you do them so quick. Like you do literally mini tiny sessions with people basically, where you take a few photos of them in a small moment in time. So how do you in like at such a quick amount of time able to pull that confidence, that love out and capture it in a photo?
I think one of the things as that we think about as being the person that's getting your photo taken, the first thing you would say is, "Oh, well, I'm not a model," or I don't know what to do with my hands. That's a big one. You just don't know, and the reason why you don't know is because your mind gets in the way. You're thinking about it. Um, I think what I'm able to do is I kind of just take the camera out of the situation, and because also too you're nervous because there's a camera pointed at you, and you lower the camera and it's now just me and you, and we laugh and we joke, and before you know it I've taken your photo. And the idea is to just take your mind out of it and let the feeling take over, because at the end of the day, it's our reward is how we feel. And as long as you're doing the things that feel good to you, then you're going to want to do those things more. Um, I think that, and that's also what stops people from getting their photo taken is they think about how they feel right now, and they lose sight of how they may feel when they're done.
I can't agree even more. And and what I find so interesting, and I want to like flip it a little bit, is do you think that's why not many people take selfies? Because
I
they're uncomfortable.
I don't think so. I'm actually, oddly enough, I'm bad about taking my own selfies. Hi, Erica. I'm bad about taking my own selfies. When I am with a group of people, I'm usually so focused on what is going on because we live in a time too where it's important to be a part of those things around you. And I try to be a part and engage, and I completely forget that, oh, I should take a picture here. But as far as like, I think that it's just not on people's to do list. Um, and they think that, oh, it's just a photo of me, so it's not important. But that's very incorrect because you are important, and you might think that whatever it is that you're doing is kind of mundane or no one would care about it, but like that's the only insight that others would have into your life should you want that door open. um, I think we spend a lot of time just thinking like we're not important, uh, you know, we're not enough. Especially when you have, you might look at your Instagram account and take a selfie and it gets 5 likes, and then you get random influencer, post a selfie and they have 50,000 likes, and that's a very real measurement in our hearts that's not actually important.
I love that. I absolutely love that because I think for me personally, being in a time and age where likes really don't matter. It's how I feel and like for me, the quality of realistically the content that I'm posting. Because I don't know, just being in business, I think of all the things that I do as content. But you shared something with me that really hit my heartstrings really hard earlier, which was about getting photos specifically at Disney, but it can be really anything, any special moments or whatever, of making sure that we're included in the picture and not just our kids. Can you somehow recreate that magic and say that again? Because it hit
Yes.
me so hard right here.
Yes. So I run into people all of the time, especially working at Disney. And when you think of like the standard family of 4 or 5, you have mom, dad, and 2 or 3 kids, and they're all about the kids. The kids are hyped up, and the kids are spending money, and it's not in a bad way, but the parents are happy to do this for the kids. And we often have times where um, it's time for a family photo and dad might sit out or mom might sit out. And sometimes you can look at it and you can see directly what is on their mind. Between, I feel like dad might feel like he's not a part of it or, detached. And for mom might be an appearance thing. You can tell just by body language. But we let that get in the way of the bigger picture. Um, no pun intended. Um, but I think
Take
that
all the
it's I think it's super important that everyone is included, because that might be the last, especially in COVID times, like that might be the last time the last memory that your loved ones have with you. And even in my own personal life, I had a friend pass away, and we were looking for photos of me and her together, or just either me and her, me and my wife, or any photos of her. And I didn't have a lot, and that really hurt, because I can't go back and get those photos again. And I think that's why it's important too that regardless of how you feel you look in the photo, like you're somebody's loved one, whether you're mom, husband, sister, brother, um, that's all they're going to have one day. And I think that it's like leaving behind an inheritance or an investment. Like, if you don't put anything into it now, no one's gonna have anything later.
exactly. Actually, as you were talking, all I could think of is leaving a legacy for whoever is you're leaving behind. Because one of my mentors, she says this all the time of we die twice. The first time is when our physical body dies, and the second time is when someone speaks our name for the last time.
It's like in
And if
Coco.
you, yes, yes, oh my gosh, yes, and it's so impactful of like that deep what am I leaving behind? And so gosh, I have like chills. I love talking to you. It's like it's so fun. Um, because like for me, I think maybe it's just me personally, but I overthink photos. I overcomplicate things. I think too much. And I appreciate you sharing with us that just take them, just take the photos. Don't overthink it. Just take them. And I appreciate you. I will definitely, when I do get photos with Danny, I'm definitely going to make sure I tag him so you guys know that it's Danny that's taking my photos. Because I love getting photos taken by Danny. Is there anything else you would like to leave with everybody? Is there any other points?
So
I
I
just want to
just
see.
noticed, I'm gonna catch up on the chat really quick. I just noticed I had it on private chat this whole time. Or I'm gonna look up on the comments really quick to see if
Okay,
there
go
are
for it. Yes,
any.
we see that we have Celeste, Marlene, and Victoria has been commenting. You guys have just made him stay. I'm also gonna go ahead and put his, website down at the bottom if anybody is interested in looking at Danny's website. I have it down there at the bottom, it's right angle photo, and he is local here in Orlando.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm all caught up now. I feel like I just woke up and there's a time capsule waiting for me.
What's really cool is if you go when you go back and watch the replay, the comments should pop up on Facebook in real time. If you put it in real time, you'll be able to see it, like, in
Oh,
real time on Facebook, which is really cool.
I like that.
And we didn't get any questions, which is great.
What
If you guys
happened?
have questions and
Oh
you're
yeah,
watching, you're more than welcome to post them.
I'm here to answer the questions.
And I've got somebody on TikTok. If you have any questions, I'm just interviewing Danny Monroe. He is one of the local photographers here in Orlando. And we're talking about body confidence in photos and photography and leaving a legacy. I'm so glad we actually ended on that note of leaving a legacy of photos of ourselves for our friends and family. Um, well, we all pass at some point when we do pass. So,
I
but yeah, it's
actually do have something I would like to add. Um,
absolutely.
I was thinking about like just how we overthink things, and it's really important to it's I feel like we as humans, as working adults, we have a lot on our plate. And one of the great things that Amazon does for us is it takes the thinking out of shopping,
Mhm.
or even delivery. Whether you, no matter where you get food delivered from, that takes the deliver not the delivery, the thinking out of dinner. I think that people don't realize that it's okay to have somebody else do the thinking for them. And that definitely, I feel like, applies to photography, because you feel awkward in your pictures because you're thinking about it, and you need to take the time to to remove the thinking by having a third party come in and say, hey, this is what you should do, or this is how you should feel, or not even be as clear as to say this is, but just pull you into that emotion organically. um, it's nice to also have a third, it's like a second opinion. All
Mhm.
of the things that you see are manifested based off of how you feel. And since I can't feel any of those things that you feel, I can only show you what I see. And
Mm.
when I push that shutter button, there's absolutely no way that you can tell me that that's not what you looked like, because I saw it. And I think that that's really important. That's one of those things that it's the same reason why you would go and see like a therapist. You need that second party, that third party, to come in and be like, hey, this is what you're doing, and this is what you should be doing, because we don't have time to think about what we're doing. We only have time to think about how we feel. Um, so yeah, I think that photography could be some type of therapy in a way.
Absolutely. I see it as a form of art, and for me, art therapy is, like, most influential for me. I just never in my life thought as photography as, like, a healing practice, because I like how you said, like, photography can be a form of therapy. I know you do boudoir photos, which is so healing and empowering. Just on, like, for me personally, it is an empowering type of photography, of to have photos taken of me in that way, with my trauma and my healing and everything like that. It's a form of therapy, and it just depends on whether or not, individually, we want to go to that level, you
Right.
know.
Right. I see in the chat, Marlene says we have to move past our own vulnerability and insecurities, and that's a big part of it. Is it's a two-step wall. People are afraid to feel vulnerable, and I think that it's also like socially unacceptable to feel vulnerable, which is why we don't ask for help. And you know that is what I think, that's what harbors the insecurities, is like, what would people think? And you just gotta let go of what people think, because I mean, that too, you don't really know what people will think. People will be like, oh my god, this is great, and they will want to follow in your path. But it's like when you're sitting in school and the teacher asks a question and you know the right answer, but you don't say anything. Like, everybody in the class knows the right answer, but then somebody says it, and then all of a sudden the chatter starts because you needed that one person to I guess get the ball rolling, and you can be that person,
Mhm.
and it's okay to be that person.
Absolutely. I'm just sitting here, I'm like, "Okay, Danny, keep talking." I love it. I absolutely this has been great. The photographer who does not feel it and can capture, does not feel it and can capture a more authentic view. Exactly.
Right. It's the
I
same
see.
reason why you can't do surgery on yourself, because it hurts.
Right? Oh, I like that analogy. Right? Oh, I love that, and that's why, like, I have to take a lot of photos of myself. I actually really enjoy giving the camera to Erica and her take the picture, 'cause she's, like, not really disconnected to what I'm she's disconnected to what I'm feeling inside.
Right.
Because sometimes trying to camera on myself and being like, "Okay, let's go," can be very it can be overwhelming, I guess,
I
and
think
very
too.
difficult.
I think that when you hand the camera to someone else, even if it's to Erica, who is a great photographer, I am sure, um, it's kind of like it's no different than you comparing yourself to today's beauty standards.
Mhm.
You can sit and look all day and say, "Hey, this is what random influencer looks like. I don't look like that," and get discouraged. But at the same time, you can look at photos of yourself and compare them to yourself instead and say, "This is what I look like. What do I want to change?" And I think that there's two kinds of people. There are people that will look the at a photo of themselves and decide that they don't like how they look and they're gonna not take any more photos, or they can look at that photo and not like how they look and decide there are some changes. But when you look at a photo of yourself, that's your roadmap. You don't like your stomach, so start there. You don't like your arms, you can start there. You want to be taller, well, that can't be helped. But um, so I think we spend too much time comparing ourselves to each other, but not enough time comparing ourselves to ourselves.
Mm, yes. I'm gonna let that sink. Yeah. That's who I try to compare myself is to myself from yesterday or 6 months ago. I don't try to compare myself to, like, other people, so I'm
Yeah,
really
I
bad
saw
at that.
that on your social. You started doing, I started seeing, side by sides. Even the little thing that you talked about, the straw thing, I noticed such a difference in that. And if I saw it, then you probably saw it, and you probably feel it. I can't feel that
Mhm.
for you. And that feeling alone could just be something that is intoxicating for you, whereas making or me showing you what you look like is intoxicating for me. So
Mhm.
like I get so excited during my sessions. I get more excited during my boudoir sessions because I interview all of my clients before I come in and I know where their headspace is, and or I know what headspace they're in, and it is between somebody saying, ex-boyfriend saying you're not good enough or no one's going to love you or anything like that. Like those things really break my heart. And I'm that person that tries to use my words and comfort you and say this is, don't listen to him. He doesn't know what or them, or they don't know what they're talking about. And my words fall flat because we still get you because you don't see it. You
Mhm.
can't see my words, but you can see my art. And if you know that you were there and you know that I was there and I show you a photo of you and you can't believe that it's you, then I did my job. I did my job.
Right.
My goal is to make you look at the back of my camera and say that's not me.
Mm,
But we're not lying.
exactly.
It's you.
No, because you took the you hit the shutter button, and that's what pops up, and that's what I love about art and photography in general. There are times when I see a photo of myself, and I'm having a really hard time believing that's me. That's me sitting right there. There's even times even, like, right now this is, like, some of my mental health and stuff, but, like, I still have a hard time, like, this is what I look like currently. This is what Lindsay taking care of her body looks like, you know, nourishing and fueling myself. This is what I look like today. This is exactly what I look even just on a video, but, like, even it goes, like, a step further, even in photos. And that's why, like, for me, I always encourage, and it doesn't have to be like body specifically, but like even you even mentioned like mindset or even like your spirituality comes out, like your essence comes out, your soul comes out in a photo where I encourage my customers and my clients to take photos of themselves, whether it be through mindset, really mindset, because then you can see it in your eyes. And like for me, I'm doing this 75 hard, and that's where that side by side photo you saw, the from drink because I'm drinking a gallon of water a day,
Right.
but drinking it through a straw, getting all that bloatedness. I did it. I just took because I'm doing private ones too. I'm not like blasting. Um, my belly all over social media. It's just not something I'm comfortable with, but I could see that difference of the bloating of drinking a gallon of water through a straw and then not through a straw in just a 24-hour span. So, like, for me, I'm starting this new habit of just taking a glimpse and I'm looking. I have an album going of all of them, and I can actually see where my headspace is, where my mental health space is, and everything, which is really, for me, really fascinating to see how something as simple as taking a picture of myself every single day can show that also.
So just to bridge the gap, um, I feel like a lot of this conversation is um, it's about me showing you how to, not how to be happy, but how to see yourself appropriately. Um, but I want to also touch on, I have these insecurities too.
Hmm.
Even as a photographer, it's really hard to just be a male photographer in the world. And even I just started doing boudoir like last August, and I did one shoot. I didn't tell anybody I was doing it, um, and I was very blown away with the photos, the result. And the reason why it took me so long to even do that was because I too felt like it was something that I couldn't do. I always compared my work to other people's work, and I was like, there's no way that I can do that. Um, so it, you know, it's not just an appearance thing, it's an ability thing in all things that we do. And so I did this shoot, and I was so scared to post it on Facebook because what will people think? You know, especially the nature of the shoot with, you know, the attire involved. Sometimes, like, I always let my client dress to their comfort level. I actually have a new client who was she at first wanted to try boudoir, but she was afraid of like morals. She wanted to keep morals intact, so she definitely believes that that, you know, she wanted to just save herself and her body for marriage and that union. But then she came back a few days later and asked, "What is boudoir?" Um, and you know, I let her know. I said, "Well, in the shortest amount of words in French, boudoir means bathroom." um, or just like intimate dressing room, that setting. And I said boudoir is more about a feeling than what it actually is. You could be wearing a jumpsuit, and I could still take boudoir photos. I could photograph you with a blanket completely covered, and as long as you feel good, then it's boudoir. Um, just as long as you know it's in a private setting. And I think the great thing about boudoir is that it shows that you want to invite people into your the wall that you've built around yourself. And it starts with one person, obviously yourself. And then after you get those photos, you decide what you want to do with them. And if you decide that you want to share this with everybody, then obviously you can. Or if you just want to keep it as a small accomplishment for yourself, then that's cool too. And I couldn't get to the point where I could post a photo of a boudoir session that I did, just because, especially being in the Disney area, you know, Disney and family oriented and children, and it was very scary. It was so stressful. I waited until 1 in the morning to post a photo on Facebook.
Well, of course you did.
I was like, let me just post this photo at 1 a.m. and no one's gonna see it, and we're gonna pretend like nothing ever happened. And I woke up and I had four more inquiries of people that wanted to do photos, because and I didn't realize that people need help expressing themselves and getting past those vulnerabilities and those insecurities, and it's okay to ask for help. There's just people just need different kinds of help, I guess. Um,
Hmm.
so I was terrified to even start this journey, and I had so much fun doing it. And the reaction that I got was, you know, from my community was great, and the interaction that I got from my individual clients that I've had, like everybody has the same but a different story. Um, you know, I wanted to it was really important to me that to convey the correct message, especially being a a male photographer in Orlando, and then things are kind of weird. So like I wasn't sure where I was on the front of being a person of color also doing this. Like it's just it's shaky ground.
Absolutely.
So
Totally understand.
so my I have another website for this, and my website, the one that you have posted now, is completely written by me, but I actually didn't write anything on my other website. My clients have written all the copy on my website because it's not I'm not here to explain to you why I should be doing your photos. I want people that I've worked with to explain to you why you should be doing these photos. Whether it's with me or with somebody else, like I don't care where you shop, but you should feel good.
Mhm.
You should feel good. Target's not mad at Walmart. They're just like get what you need, and that's really how boudoir photography should be. Is if you for whatever reason feel like you're not enough, just even if you're doing it in your bathroom with your cell phone and your ring light, just do it. It'll make you feel good.
Gosh, I love that. 'Cause, like, and I was talking to you beforehand, like, it takes a very special person who's male to be able just having a male mindset to be able to do such beautiful boudoir photos. It takes a very special type of like, mindset to be able to do that. Like, period, end of story. Just that alone. And I appreciate you sharing with us your insecurities with boudoir and your journey up until this point, because I'm just letting everybody know his boudoir pictures are beautiful and gorgeous and absolutely phenomenal and amazing. And
Thank you.
oh, this has been great. I don't want to keep everybody for too long, so
We've been
um,
chatting for like ages. Sorry.
I know, it goes by really quickly once you start. I could tell as soon as you were, like, in the flow, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be, like, a 30-minute interview for sure." As soon as you got into the flow of things, it's so easy to go live for a long time. So I just wanna thank everybody who's been listening. We had a comment on Twitch, which is so exciting, and a few people on Facebook coming in and out. I love each and every one of you for stopping by, and thank you, Danny, for doing this. I really
Absolutely.
appreciate and love that you did this. Oh my gosh, it warms my heart, and I hope this helps someone with their own body confidence through photography. And seriously, take Danny's suggestion if it's something that you've been curious about. Take your ring light, go into the bathroom, and do some boudoir photos for yourself. And if you're in the Orlando area and you wanted some photos done by Danny, make sure you contact him because he is absolutely amazing and phenomenal. I love and appreciate each and every one of you for stopping by. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys tomorrow.